She claimed she was going through a rough patch and needed space, but her social media showed her at fancy restaurants every night with different men. I created a fake profile and matched with her on dating apps. Our first date conversation was unforgettable. I, 29 male, am sitting in my apartment right now, still processing what just happened last night. My now ex-girlfriend, Jade, 27, just stormed out after the most surreal confrontation of my life. 3 weeks ago, Jade hit me with the "I need space" talk. We'd been together for 2.5 years, living together for the last 8 months. Things had been good, or so I thought. Sure, we'd been busier lately with work, but nothing that screamed relationship crisis. The conversation went like this. "Jade, I'm going through a really rough patch mentally. I need some time to figure things out. Can you stay with your brother for a while? Just a few weeks, I promise." Me, is this about us? Did I do something? No, it's not you. I just need to work on myself. Please understand. She was crying, seemed genuinely distressed. I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt and confused, but I wanted to support her. Mental health is important, right? So I packed some stuff and crashed at my brother Nolan's place. First week was rough. I gave her the space she asked for. Minimal texting, no calls. Just the occasional "thinking of you" message. She'd respond with hearts or "thank you for understanding." Seemed like she really was working through something. Then my coworker Destiny showed me something that changed everything. We were on lunch break when she goes, "Hey, isn't this Jade?" Shows me an Instagram story from some mutual acquaintance. There's Jade, dolled up at some upscale steakhouse, clinking wine glasses with some dude in a suit. Tagged location, timestamp from the night before. My stomach dropped. But okay, maybe it was work-related. She's in marketing, has client dinners sometimes. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. But then I did something I'm not proud of. I started checking her socials obsessively. And man, the pattern that emerged was something else. Monday, tagged at an Italian place with someone named Bradley. Tuesday, story from a sushi restaurant, different guy in the background. Wednesday, check-in at a rooftop bar. Thursday, posted a pic of lobster dinner, man's watch visible in the corner of the photo. Different watch than Tuesday guy. Every single night. Different restaurants, always pricey places, and from what I could see in the backgrounds and reflections, different men each time. Meanwhile, she's texting me about how she's making progress and needs just a bit more time. My brother Nolan was ready to go nuclear. "Bro, she's playing you. While you're sleeping on my couch, she's out there living her best life." But I needed to know for sure what was happening. That's when I had an idea that was either brilliant or completely insane. I created a fake dating profile. Used some stock photos of a decent-looking guy, made up a whole persona. Ethan, yeah, not very creative with the name. 31, investment banker, new to the area. Figured that matched the type she seemed to be going for based on the restaurant choices. It took exactly 1 day to match with her on Hinge. Her profile was, wow, recently single, looking to meet new people and have fun experiences. Love trying new restaurants and good conversation, no drama, positive vibes only. Recently single. We hadn't even officially broken up. I played it cool, messaged her as Ethan. She responded immediately. Super flirty, lots of emojis. We chatted for 2 days before she suggested meeting up. And here's where it gets interesting. She proposed Friday night at Chez Laurent, this French place that's notorious for being impossible to get reservations at. "I have a connection there," she texted. "Can usually get a table." I agreed to meet her at 8 p.m. Then, I did something that still makes me cringe. I made an actual reservation at Chez Laurent for 8:15, under my real name. Cost me a favor from a client who's a regular there, but I needed this to happen. Friday night came. I got there early, got seated at a table with a clear view of the entrance, wore a baseball cap and kept my head down just in case. She walked in at 8:05, looking absolutely stunning. Designer dress I'd never seen before, professional makeup, the works. She sat at the bar, ordered a martini, kept checking her phone. At 8:20 she started looking annoyed. By 8:30 she was furiously texting. I could see her typing, deleting, typing again. That's when I stood up, walked over, and sat down next to her. "Hey Jade. Waiting for someone?" I've never seen someone's face go through so many emotions so quickly. Shock, confusion, fear, anger, then this weird attempt at casual friendliness. Oh, hi, what are you doing here? Having dinner, solo. Since my girlfriend needed space to work on herself. This isn't what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like you're on a date. At a restaurant that charges $200 a plate, while I'm sleeping on my brother's couch so you can have space to deal with your rough patch. She tried to flip the script. Were you following me? This is stalking. How did you even know I'd be here? I pulled out my phone, showed her the Hinge conversation. Her face went white. You catfished me? No, Jade. You've been catfishing me for 3 weeks, making me think you needed mental health support while you've been out here dating half the city. The conversation devolved from there. She accused me of violating her privacy, manipulating her, being controlling. I just kept asking one question. Why didn't you just break up with me? Finally, she snapped. Because I needed to keep my options open. Do you know how hard it is to date in this city? I needed to see what was out there before I gave up the stability of us. Is that so wrong? Yes it was. I stood up to leave. She grabbed my arm. Wait, we can work this out. I was confused. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Jade, you've been on a different date every night for 2 weeks. You made me move out of my own apartment so you could swipe right in peace. We're done. She started crying then. Not sad tears, angry tears. You can't just leave me here. I told my friends I was on a date. This is humiliating. Your Hinge match isn't coming, Jade. Ethan, the investment banker, doesn't exist, but I'm sure you've got 6 other guys in your phone who'd love to buy you dinner. I left. Went straight back to my apartment. My name's on the lease after all. Started packing her stuff. She showed up an hour later, with her best friend Chloe in tow as backup. Tried to spin it like I was the bad guy, that I tricked her and manipulated the situation. Chloe was eating it up, giving me death glares, talking about how I was toxic and controlling. I just kept packing. When they finally left, Jade yelled that I'd regret this, that I'd never find someone like her again. God, I hope she's right about that. Update 1. Holy crap, this blew up. Thanks for all the support, everyone. Some of you called what would happen next, and you were 100% right. So after the restaurant incident, I thought things would be relatively straightforward. She'd get her stuff, we'd go our separate ways, end of story. Nope. First, the social media campaign started. Jade posted this long Instagram story about toxic exes and manipulation tactics and surviving emotional abuse. No names, but enough details that people knew she meant me. The comments were brutal. Her friends rallying around her, calling me all sorts of names. Whatever, I stayed quiet. Then came the apartment situation. Remember how I mentioned my name's on the lease? Well, turns out her name is too. We're both on it. And she decided she wasn't moving out. Monday morning, I get home from the gym, and she's there. Changed the locks while I was gone. I had to call the building management, show them my lease, get a locksmith. Cost me $150 and 3 hours of my day. When I finally got in, she's sitting on the couch, smirking. This is my home too. You can't force me out. Jade, we're broken up. This isn't sustainable. Then you leave. Oh wait, you can't afford this place on your own, can you? She was right. Rent's $2,400 a month. I make decent money, but that's steep for one person. That's when she hit me with her proposal. Look, I'll make this simple. Give me $5,000 to help me get a new place, and I'll leave quietly. Otherwise, I'm staying put, and we can be roommates. Your choice. $5,000. She wanted me to pay her $5,000 to leave the apartment we both legally rent. That's extortion, Jade. It's negotiation. I have just as much right to be here as you do. More, actually, since you abandoned the apartment for 3 weeks. I told her I'd think about it. Then I did something petty. Remember how she said she'd been going to all these expensive restaurants? Well, I started doing some math. Average meal at these places is minimum $100 per person, usually more with drinks. She'd been out every night for 2 weeks. That's at least $1,400 in dinners, probably more. So I texted her. I'll give you $5,000 minus the cost of all your dates while we were together. By my calculation, you owe me money. She flipped, called me pathetic, cheap, said I was financially abusing her. That night, she brought a guy home. To our apartment. I could hear them laughing in her room, obviously trying to get under my skin. I didn't sleep. Not because I was jealous, I was just done with her at that point. But the disrespect was astronomical. Next morning, the guy sheepishly exits while I'm making coffee, nods at me awkwardly and leaves. Jade emerges an hour later, looking smug. So, ready to reconsider my offer? That's when I decided to play dirty too. See, Jade works at a pretty conservative marketing firm. Very image conscious, big on company values and representing the brand. And I happen to still have access to our shared Google photos from when we were together, including some, let's say, artistic photos she'd sent me over the years. Nothing she hadn't willingly shared, but definitely not something she'd want circulating at work. Now, I want to be clear. I would never actually share those photos. I'm not that guy. But Jade didn't know that. I pulled her aside. Jade, you should know I have every photo you ever sent me backed up. Every single one. Now, I'm not threatening anything, but if you keep escalating the situation, making false accusations about me online, bringing random dudes to our apartment, well, sometimes clouds get hacked, you know? Emails get sent to the wrong people. Would be a shame if Bradley from Monday night got an interesting message. Her face went pale. You wouldn't. Try me. Or, you could take the high road, move out by Friday, and we can both pretend this whole mess never happened. That's blackmail. No, that's negotiation. Your words, remember? She was furious, but she also knew I had her cornered. The thing about Jade is she cares more about her image than anything else. The thought of those photos getting out, of her carefully crafted professional persona crumbling, that scared her more than losing the apartment. But she wasn't done being vindictive, not by a long shot. Update 2. Last update, because this whole saga finally came to an end in the most ridiculous way possible. So Jade agreed to move out, but not without making my life hell first. She gave me a date, 2 weeks from our conversation. In the meantime, she proceeded to accidentally break my coffee maker, use all my expensive shampoo, invite her friends over every night for support gatherings, aka wine and trash talk Ethan sessions, leave passive-aggressive notes everywhere. Hope you're happy, on the bathroom mirror, karma's a bitch on the fridge. But the real kicker came when she started bringing more dates home. Different guy every few nights, always making sure I knew about it. She'd introduce them to me like we were buddies. Oh, this is my roommate. We used to date, but he's totally cool with everything. One guy, Terrence, actually pulled me aside one night. Hey man, just wanted to make sure you're really okay with this. She said, you guys have an open situation. I just looked at him. Buddy, she told me she needed space for mental health 3 weeks ago. We've been broken up since. You're like the 8th dude she's brought here. Just be careful. Terrence left immediately. Jade was pissed. You're sabotaging my dates now? I told him the truth. If the truth sabotages your dates, maybe examine your choices. She ramped up after that. Started telling people I was abusive, controlling, that she was scared of me. Problem was, she'd also post Instagram stories from our apartment, clearly comfortable, having wine with friends. Hard to play the terrified victim when you're broadcasting your movie nights from the supposed danger zone. Then came the grand finale. 3 days before she was supposed to move out, I get a call from my landlord. Jade had contacted him, trying to get Emmy removed from the lease, claimed I was harassing her, making the living situation hostile. Here's where Jade messed up. She put it all in writing. Emails to the landlord with wild accusations, but also admitting she'd been bringing multiple partners to the apartment, that she'd changed the locks without permission, lease violation, and that she was refusing to leave despite our agreement. My landlord, bless him, called me immediately. Look, I don't know what's going on between you two, but she's admitted to multiple lease violations in writing. I can start eviction proceedings against her if you want. I didn't want to go nuclear like that. I just wanted her gone. So I forwarded Jade the email chain with the landlord, highlighting the parts about lease violations and potential eviction. You have 48 hours to leave, or I'm pressing forward with the eviction. Your choice. She tried to call my bluff, but I wasn't bluffing. I filled out the paperwork, ready to file. That's when reality hit her. An eviction on her record would destroy her ability to rent anywhere decent in the city. She was out in 36 hours. But not before one final act of pettiness. She took all the light bulbs, every single one. Left a note, hope you enjoy living in the dark. Joke's on her though. I immediately went to the store, bought Bought all LED smart bulbs. Now I can control them with my phone, and my electricity bill is lower. Upgrade. Final update. Thought I'd give one last update since people keep asking. Jade's currently dating some tech startup guy she met on Raya. Apparently she upgraded from Hinge. She's plastering their relationship all over social media. Fancy dinners, weekend trips, blessed posts. The guy seems nice enough, if a bit clueless. I give it 3 months. She did try to reach out once about 2 weeks after moving out. Long text about how she missed what we had and maybe acted hastily. I didn't respond. She followed up with, I still have some mail coming there. Can I pick it up? I just forward her mail to her new place. No contact necessary. The apartment's mine now. Got a roommate. My buddy Devin from college. He's chill, pays rent on time, and doesn't bring home a parade of Hinge dates. Win-win. The funniest part? Remember all those expensive restaurant dates she was going on? Turns out she was running up quite the credit card debt trying to maintain that lifestyle. Her best friend Chloe let it slip when she drunk DM'd me to call me an asshole. Again. Apparently Jade's been complaining about being broke from dating and having to eat ramen for a while. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my smart bulbs, drama-free apartment, and a normal roommate who doesn't steal my shampoo or emotionally manipulate me. Life's good. Oh, and for everyone asking, yes, I deleted those photos. I'm not a scumbag. I just needed her to think I might be for like 48 hours. Worked like a charm. Lessons learned. 1. When someone says they need space, ask for specifics. 2. Trust your gut when something feels off. 3. Always read your lease carefully. 4. Smart bulbs are actually pretty awesome. 5. Sometimes the best revenge is just living your life without them. Thanks for following this bizarre journey, Reddit. Hope none of you ever need to catfish your own girlfriend to find out the truth. 0 tense? Do not recommend. But hey, at least I got a good story out of it. And functioning light fixtures.